kitchen. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and we were out of town because we were at Busch Gardens having a really great time. But since today is Sunday and we're home and it's time to get back to real life, I'm going to make Irish stew for dinner, and I thought I would bring you along for the ride. Now, this is just a really hearty beef stew. I know the traditional Irish stew is often made with lamb. I don't like lamb. I wasn't raised with lamb, and I've just not acquired a taste for it. So we're making our Irish stew with beef today, and a whole lot of root vegetables and some really delicious flavors. So let's see what goes in this. In my crock pot crock, I have about 2 pounds of beef stew meat that I got from my reputable butcher. I just have it sitting over here.
Don't brown it off first?
You can brown it off, you can dredge it and brown it, but today I'm just going to put it in the crock pot with all of the other goodies. I decided I'm going to use some mushrooms. These are some, they're baby bellas. They are cremini mushrooms and they're sliced. And they are clean. These mushrooms that come from the store, they're pretty clean. And I have a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. I like the underlying acidic flavor that the tomatoes give it. Basically, I have lots of vegetables here. We have 4 small carrots that I have chopped into bite-sized chunks. I have 4 small parsnips. You're not even looking at them. That's the parsnip. Okay. So these are 4 small parsnips, and the parsnips look like white carrots. They have a little bit of a peppery bite to them. They're yummy. This is a medium onion that I have kind of chunked up. I have 4 small stalks of celery. I have 2 medium-sized turnips that I have cubed. I have 4 medium-sized potatoes that I have cubed. This is about 1/4 cup of finely chopped fresh parsley. And here I have a tablespoon of Himalayan pink sea salt. You can just use regular salt. If you're going to use table salt, please use a teaspoon. I have a teaspoon of cracked black pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now, I know that I already have onion in here, but this is a very small onion that I have peeled, and I have studded with 4 cloves, holding in place 1 bay leaf. So this is going to make it easy at the end of the day when we want to fish out the cloves and the bay leaf. You can just take that whole onion out and do what you want with it. I also have some stock here. I had a half a box of chicken stock in my fridge that I need to use. Plus I have some beef stock. So we're going to toss this chicken stock in there because I wanted to use it up. And we're going to add some beef stock. And we're going to serve this later. I'm going to cook some barley like you would rice. So I'm going to cook some barley. And we're going to serve the stew over some barley. This is very traditional in the northern parts of Ireland. They will have a lot of barley in their diet, and they will actually use barley much like we use potatoes or rice. So,
did you mention the garlic?
Oh yeah, 4 cloves of garlic that I just peeled. I'm not even going to chop them up. And basically, the only thing that happens now is this all goes in the pot. And it looks like it may be too, it's going to be cramped in there. But these are all going to, What, honey?
They're going to reduce?
They are. They're going to kind of cook down. And all of your veggies and stuff are going to fit in here. So don't worry about it. I'm going to nestle this onion down in there. Just like that. I'm going to put in my parsley and my seasonings. These are all going to marry, so don't worry about if it's clumping up in there. Let's pour in this stock here. And this is also going to render a lot of its own liquid, so, don't put too much liquid. You want enough to cook it. Well, it smells good already, I can smell everything. All right. Now I'm going to grab a spoon, see if I can give this a nudge or two. It's in there pretty good. You can also do this on top of the stove in a large stock pot and just cook it all, on low all day and stir it occasionally so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. I'm going to use the crock pot simply because I don't want to think about it. when I can start to smell it, I'm going to come and check it through the lid. I'm going to put it on high for 7 to 8 hours. And you'll notice that I did not put my potatoes in there yet. I'm going to wait.
They'll turn to mush.
Because if you put the potatoes in there right now, you won't have any potatoes to speak of later. So about an hour before you want to eat, we're going to put those potatoes in there. There's going to be plenty of room in there then, and plenty of liquid to cook them. And it's going to slightly thicken the sauce. And you'll have a great stew on your hands by the time we're finished. So, when it's time to put the potatoes in later, I'll come back and I'll show you what this all looks like. Okay, it has been about, well, I don't know. It was around 11 o'clock when we started, and it's 5, so it's about 6 hours later. I still like it to go about an hour and a half more, because the meat will be perfectly tender in an hour and a half. So, oh, I'm going to turn this light on over here so that we have a little better lighting. I know the sunlight's coming in there, but while you were gone, I stored my potatoes. I just put them in this bowl and I covered them with water because I didn't want them to turn black, because potatoes have a tendency to do that if you don't. Now get them down in there. I know that it looks like it's getting a little full, but that's okay. It's all going to be fine. Press them down in there.
It doesn't come over the edge like that.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Right. You'll be fine. All right? Now, don't anybody, write and say, you're too full. Okay, I'm aware of that, but sometimes...
Ooh.
Okay, so in the event that happens, a smarter person than I am
In the bowl.
would have just taken the ladle and take some liquid out. And like I said before, all the vegetables and the meat have rendered their liquid back into this crock pot. So you're going to have more liquid now than you started with. Sorry.
Alarm system went off.
Yeah, the alarm system. There.
She even got in on the action.
Yes, she did. She's quite vocal when she wants to be. All right. Back under the lid. We're going to leave that alone for at least an hour and a half. And then we're going to saute up our dandelion greens. We're going to do a separate video of that. I'm going to cook up some barley. So really, this is going to last us a number of meals. At least 2 full dinners. I would say 3. I'm probably going to freeze some of this stew. I'm going to make the barley separately, and I'm probably going to make a separate video of how to prepare the barley, because I don't see a lot of people using barley as a grain like they use rice or other things. So we're going to do barley, and we'll be back in a little while, and we'll fix you a bowl of this delicious Irish stew. We're back, and it is time to fix you a bowl of delicious Irish stew. First thing I want to do is pull out this onion that I studded with the clove and the bay leaf. See that?
Still all together.
It's still all together. And I'm just going to set it over here. And it's delicious. I had my official taster test it. So now it's safe for the rest of us to eat. I'm going to grab a bowl. The first thing I want to do is put some barley down in the bottom. And you don't want a whole lot. That's probably all you want. Barley is very filling, and unless your system is used to it, it's going to be a big surprise. So what I'm going to do here is add some of the beef stew, just like that. And the barley is going to soak up all that delicious broth. Oh, that's so pretty. Do another carrot. I'm setting it for a photo. So I always have to think about that.
You're not setting it for me?
Well, of course I am, but you know, I always have to take photos of this first. So let's get out a nice spoon. So pretty. And that is how I make Irish stew. I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya.